Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share 8 new fragrances that I've recently gotten from the Middle Eastern realm. It's a realm. It's a whole realm of fragrance. Anyway, I'm so excited to share them with you. I've got some major amazing ones that I think you guys will be interested in. Before I get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community, and let's get into this. So before I get started, anytime I have a red lip on, someone asks me what I'm wearing, and this one is absolutely amazing. So I just recently got it. It's the Color Stay Limitless Matte by Revlon. And this is in the color Fire Off. And one thing that's cool about this particular line is they put a C, a W, or an N in brackets on the color to let you know whether it's cool, warm, or neutral. So to me, that is super beneficial. This happens to be a cool color. I think it's making my teeth a little bit yellow, but just ignore that. In any case, this is the best liquid matte lipstick I've used as far as it not crumbling and it staying put. So I wore it yesterday for longer than 12 and a half hours, but I recorded myself after 12 and a half hours. I'll show you the clip. I thought that I would just show you guys. I'm just editing currently, but I put this lipstick on at 8 this morning, and it is currently 8:34. I haven't touched it up at all, and I ate fish and chips, which is super oily and greasy. It was delicious, by the way. That's what I'm left with. So this is a great matte lipstick. So seriously, it's amazing. It doesn't get all grainy. It stays put. It kind of wears off in a natural, nice way. So I couldn't believe that after eating something oily and greasy that it still looked as good as it did. Like, that blew my socks off. So really impressed with these. So some of these fragrances are from Paris Corner, and then a few of these are from Haramiain. Now the ones from Haramiain come from the same person that has Parfumees, has started an Haramiain website. So you can purchase fragrances from Dimitri, and he's really awesome. I really appreciate him. I love his work ethic. I love Parfumees. I've talked about them many times. So the company's name is alharamainperfume.online. So kind of a weird website name, but I have a coupon code for you guys for, I believe, 10% off. So any of the Haramiain fragrances that I mentioned today will be linked to that site. And then you can use the coupon code if you feel like using it. So I have that, and then I have some fragrances from Paris Corner as well. So I'm going to start actually with a fragrance that didn't work out for me personally, and it is called Haramiain Musk Collection from Haramiain. Now, first of all, I am in love with this bottle. I think the bottle's gorgeous. So the issue for me is this one's just a little too fresh, too masculine feeling for me personally. I do think it is a nice masculine fragrance. And what I find is, like, I'm so not a fan of freshies. Anything that smells like alpine or, you know, that typical manly scent, you know, that smells balsamic and fresh and whatever, I personally am not a fan. I like a little bit of sweet spice on a guy. So this one, it's okay. Like, if I smelt this, I wouldn't be grossed out. And there's been times where on guys, they spray the fragrance super heavy and it's just too much. This one is actually nice. So it's palatable. I don't mind smelling it. So it's not so fresh that I don't enjoy it, but it's just not something that I would gravitate towards a lot. The more I keep smelling it, the more I'm liking it. But like, I'd have to try it on my husband, and I don't know if he'd ever be willing to wear any fragrance. He's never been into wearing fragrance, so I'm not sure. But yeah, as far as a masculine fragrance, it's kind of nice. It's kind of fresh and musky. So it's got lemon, mint, and white flower in the opening, ginger, nutmeg, jasmine, and muguet flower in the mid, and then the base has rose, musk, sandalwood, cedarwood, and patchouli. What I find is that when I first smell this fragrance, it's not for me because it just feels too fresh for my taste. But it's definitely more palatable than most freshies that I would smell on a man. Like I said, I think I think probably girls could wear this too, but I find it too masculine for my personal taste. So if you like freshies, this is actually a really nice one. From a non-freshy lover, I don't mind this fragrance, but it's just too masculine for me. And I'm just not crazy about fresh profiles. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this one. Love the bottle. The scent, I think I would enjoy it on a man. Definitely better than lots of fresh fragrances that I've smelled. But as for me personally, it would be a no. Now, another fragrance that I just got is called Taschine Lactea Divina. This is the bottle. I actually think it's really beautiful. I love the fact that the color matches the box. So I love, love, love the bottle. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. When I first saw the notes, so I sniffed it and I was kind of excited. And so then I looked at the notes and I got even more excited. It has cacao and incense in the opening. In the heart, it has tuberose and jasmine. And then the base had milk, vanilla, and tonka beans. So I just thought to myself, oh my goodness, this is going to be so amazing. I sprayed it in the box first and I liked it, but I'm like, it's reminding me of something. It's like, what is it reminding me of? And then I sprayed it on my skin and I realized that it smelled very similar to Blanche Bette. I don't have Blanche Bette. I may have a sample of Blanche Bette, but I do not enjoy Blanche Bette. And it's because of the milkiness. Lots of people are in love with Blanche Bette. And for me to be able to pick out this is Blanche Bette when I've hardly worn it, I think this is probably quite similar. If you're a lover of Blanche Bette, you may notice differences. I'm not comparing the two like side by side, so I have no idea for sure. But that's the vibe it gave me. Now on the skin, like I'm not a fan of that Blanche Bette vibe. And the reason why is that milk goes slightly sour on me and it makes me feel a little bit ill. Like it just smells like sour milk baby breath to me. And that is not a vibe that I want to have going on. So this one, I thought, well, I got to try it on my skin. So I tried it on my skin. And at first I'm like, ugh, it smells like Blanche Bette. And I couldn't handle it. Like I just couldn't handle it. But as it was on my skin, the more and more that I smelt it and sniffed it, the more I started to actually not mind it, which was a real shock to me. So even now, like part of me is like intrigued, kind of wanting to sniff it. And then part of me is just not happy with that smell because it just, to me, I don't get what everybody gets, that milky, creamy, musky, whatever. That's not what I get. If you love that scent profile and you want a more affordable option, I think this one's fantastic. I'm going to keep trying this one because I may fall in love with it. Currently, it's a no leaning towards a maybe. Let me know if you've tried this, weigh in and let me know what you think. Okay, now this one is from Haramiain. So this is the craziest looking bottle. Like look at this thing. It's so bizarre. I kind of like it. I think it looks nicer without the lid on it. Like it's kind of a classy looking bottle. The lid is just bizarre to me. It kind of reminds me of a carousel somehow. But the fragrance inside is really interesting. So this one is called Ménage Rouge. So this has saffron, orange, and jasmine in the opening. It has caramel and cotton candy in the middle, and then oak moss and amber in the base. It has been compared to Baccarat Rouge Extrait. And so if you don't like Baccarat Rouge Extrait, don't discount this one because for the most part, it reminds me of a burnt sugar caramel that is similar to the caramel vibe in Coffee Addict by Theodoros Kalatinas or Cotton Candy by Theodoros Kalatinas. So it gives me that kind of burnt sugar feel more than a caramel. I get a burnt sugar, but not like a bad burnt sugar, like a perfectly burnt sugar, like browned sugar kind of. Not brown sugar, but browned to the point of almost burn. So that's the vibe it gives me. I actually really enjoy this. As it dries down, so for about that last quarter, it definitely gives me Baccarat Rouge Extrait vibes. So it starts to kind of meld and I get a little bit more of that amber mixed with a little bit of a saffron vibe, but that comes near the very end. Prior to that, it's more of a sugary caramel vibe that I really enjoy. So I think that this is awesome. I would prefer this, I think, layered as opposed to wearing it just on its own, but it definitely packs a punch. Like, it has really good sillage for the longest time. Then it kind of just goes into that Baccarat Rouge extrait vibe and stays there for the rest of the fragrance. I prefer the burnt sugar vibe over the Baccarat Rouge extrait vibe. Manège Rouge. I'm probably butchering that. One that I'm absolutely, like, I'm so in love with this. I've worn it like twice and I didn't get it that long ago, and it is Prodigy Noir by Paris Corner. This one, when I first smelt it, I instantly got cardamom. It doesn't show that there's cardamom. I'm sure there's cardamom in here. It does say warm spices, so I'm thinking that that's what I'm picking up is the cardamom, and I'm in love with this. It opens with bergamot, warm spices, and apricot. You know how if someone all of a sudden says that there's something in it, you go, oh yeah, I can smell that. I can't really smell any apricot in here. You also have rose, caramel, chocolate, and tonka bean in the heart, and then the base is vanilla, cashmeran, cedarwood amber, and musk. I get kind of a dark, fudgy caramel feel in this fragrance mixed with those warm spices. I think this is so sensual. I guess I would pick up on a little bit of rose, but overall it doesn't smell like that. It just smells like warm spices, tonka, vanilla. It's a very, very dark, like vanilla is just a supporting note to those warm spices and that tonka. I just think that this is so awesome. And as it warms up on the skin, the longer you wear it, the more sensual and delicious it gets, the more chocolatey, but not a chocolate fragrance. It has a chocolatey vibe, but it's just so sexy and delicious. I love this for winter. Like, this is a great fragrance to wear if you want to be cozy. It's opulent enough that you could wear it for an evening date night type fragrance. But that said, it's just so good. I definitely get the chocolate. I get the cardamom. I get the warm spices. I get a little bit of that woodiness. Don't really get any musk. But I just absolutely love this. Like, this is the kind of fragrance, I wore it 2 days in a row because I loved it so much. And it's a fragrance that I think a cool girl would wear. Oh, I wish I was cool, but I'm not. So I'll put this on and feel cool. Anyway, really love this. It's such a great fragrance. Yeah, seriously, a new love for sure. This next fragrance is called Farasha, and it's by Alharamain. This fragrance actually smells pink to me. It totally has a pink, sweet, fruity vibe. It has fruity notes, floral notes, and green notes in the opening. In the middle, it has more floral notes and woody notes, and then the base has musk and more floral notes. So the floral notes are rather indistinct. Definitely gives me more of a white floral vibe than anything, mixed with some sweetness. If you're a floral lover, this is actually a really solid fragrance. I do appreciate the little bit of green in there. The sweetness from the fruits keeps it kind of vibrant and feminine. This is just an easy reach fragrance for someone that enjoys florals. To me, I enjoyed the fragrance, but I don't know how often I'd reach for this because it is so floral. If you like fragrances like Gucci Bloom, that type of vibe, I think you'd enjoy this one. As this dries down, you get kind of a floral, a sweet floral, but definitely floral. Floral more than fruity, with a little bit of wood and a little bit of muskiness. So it is a nice fragrance. It's not my personal taste, but I can definitely see this as being an easy reach for anyone that enjoys fragrances like Gucci Bloom. It's easy to wear, but it's very floral. Now, this next one was a massive, massive hit. And it's called Haramiain Détour Noir. Like, some of these Alharamain bottles are a little bit bizarre, but this fragrance is killer. This fragrance is so incredibly good. I looked on Fragrantica and lots of people feel that this is like Leighton by Parfums de Marly. Now that is a fragrance that I haven't smelt, so I can't weigh in, but it is so freaking good. This is definitely leaning slightly masculine, but to me, like all Parfum de Marly fragrances in the male section, they're really quite unisex. This one is no exception. It's so gorgeous. This is the kind of freshy that I love because it's got a little bit of spice in it. So it's got some apple, there's jasmine, there's some lavender and violet. In the heart, you have vanilla, patchouli, bergamot, and orange. And then the base is sandalwood, cardamom, guaiac wood, pepper, and geranium. Now, what I definitely get the lavender. I get that little hit of apple. I get some of that vanilla, some of that patchouli, definitely a little bit of that cardamom and woodiness. It is so sexy, but that apple keeps it fresh enough. This is seriously one of the best guy fragrances I've ever smelled. Like, I really enjoy this. So where this is fresh, but smells kind of like your typical fresh guy fragrance, this one, and like this is seriously so affordable. This one is just sexy. It's got just enough sweetness to be like mouth watering. Like this would, like this will weaponize you. This is seriously, it's so sexy. It's still got enough freshness. It's still masculine enough that you're not going to smell like you're wearing a unisex fragrance if you're a guy. If you're wearing this as a girl, it's going to smell like a unisex fragrance. If you're wearing this as a guy, you're going to just smell like you got a masculine fragrance on, I think. But I love this. I love the sweetness of the apple mixed with the lavender. It makes my mouth water. Love the vanilla in here. This is seriously so freaking solid. I'm in love with this. Now, the next fragrance is from Paris Corner, and it is called Prodigy. So there's Prodigy and then Prodigy Noir. So this one has kind of a bronzy colored bottle. Now, this was one that I wasn't sure of to start with. So I put it on and I'm like, oh, it's quite ambery. Not sure I'm crazy about it. The more I wore it, the more I loved it. So this is another one that I've worn twice now and have completely fallen in love with. So it has orange, cinnamon, and green apple on the opening. In the middle is white flowers, clary sage, and amber. And the base is vanilla, tonka bean, ambery wood, and musk. So what I love about this one is the orange and the cinnamon is really, really nicely blended. It's not too much. You get a little bit of that cinnamon. Sometimes cinnamon can be a little overwhelming. It's not in this one. It's just a hint of cinnamon with that orange. I literally don't notice any green apple. What I get is a little hint of that orange, just a hint. I get a little bit of that spice, and then I get amber, vanilla, tonka. This one feels very, very sensual, and it doesn't smell anything like Black Opium or The Only One by Dolce & Gabbana, but it fits to me in that same category where you're getting a cozy, slightly fruity floral amber. Mainly amber. Ambers are always a little bit tricky for me. I never know if I'm going to totally fall in love with it. And this one, I thought, oh, it's not quite for me. Like, it's nice, but it's not quite for me. Then wearing this one, I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to give it more time, but it's gone from a like to being almost a love. So I can see this one becoming really addictive. I also really actually enjoy mixing the two of these. This one's a little bit more, it's not masculine, but it's masculine leaning. These are both unisex, but mixing the two, this kind of softens this one, and the two of them together, I think, are amazing. Both fragrances give me that fall winter vibe, cozy, opulent, sensual, like in love. Now, the last fragrance, I've mentioned this one, and it is Alharamain's Amber Oud White Edition. So this looks like all those other bottles. Amber Oud Gold smells like Yerba Pura. They have an extreme version of that one. It smells like the Yerba Pura Gold, I believe. They have a tobacco one that smells like tobacco vanille. It's a really great dupe. It's not exact, but it's really a great option if you're wanting a tobacco vanille-esque fragrance. That's an amazing one. And then this is the next, I believe they have a Baccarat one as well. The Amber Oud Red, I believe, is kind of Baccarat kind of influenced. And then this white one, this has kind of a bergamot, Coco Mademoiselle-esque vibe that's a little bit more musky, that to me would be similar to what I'd experience, what I think I would smell in an eau de toilette. So definitely get a Coco Mademoiselle vibe from this, but it's missing the sweetness of the orange. So this one is definitely a great option. Like the Chanel fragrances are so expensive. So if you're wanting something that has that Coco Mademoiselle-esque vibe, I think this is more similar to the eau de toilette than the eau de parfum. I get more of the bergamot in the opening than the orange, but then you're getting all those kind of Coco Mademoiselle florals like the jasmine, the freesia, the rose, and then you're getting a little bit of that woody, musky patchouli with a hint of vanilla in the dry down. This is definitely way more musky than the Coco Mademoiselle Eau de Parfum, but I think that this is a great option for a summer freshie that's not too fresh. So if you're not a freshie fan like me, this would be a fresher version of Coco Mademoiselle Eau de Parfum. And so for that reason, I think it's a great, easy reach, especially in spring and summer. Or if you just want something classy and you don't want to smell all warm and spicy, this one would be a great option. So that's my little Middle Eastern haul for you. My two major standouts. So the absolute best was Détour Noir and Prodigy Noir. Both noirs. Who'd have thunk it? I didn't even know it until I picked these up. Love Prodigy Noir. I love that cardamom, spicy, warm, chocolatey, caramel, sexy deliciousness that's in this one. And then this one is the sexiest, most delectable green apple, lavender concoction ever. This smells like it could be almost like a perfumed drink somehow. It's so gorgeous. And yeah, for a guy, this one is amazing as kind of a fresher, sweeter fragrance. Love it. This is a fragrance that I would wear, honestly, all year round as a girl. This one is dark, deep, and sensual. This would smell amazing on a guy as well. So they're both unisex. If I had to choose between the two, I don't think I could, because this one is like a little bit fresher with that apple and lavender. This is a little bit more sensual and sexy. I'm so glad to have them both in my collection. Now, like I said, I have a discount code for the Alharamains. I'm working on getting a discount code for the Paris Corner fragrances. Please, if you've tried any of these, weigh in. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your thoughts. And other than that, have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.